Okay, we're at Canada Blues, and I have a Songbird right here ready to talk to me. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm amazing. How
It's
are you?
Nicole Coward. So tell me about the show.
Oh, Canada Blooms was fantastic. As you can see, I was just there. I've played 5 days this week, and I've sold so many CDs, and I made so many new
that's
fans,
great.
and it's been an incredible experience. Lots of exposure for
Oh,
new
that's so
people.
great.
So yeah, this is my second year here actually. Last year was the first time they had live music in the beer and wine lounge. It went great, so I'm back again.
Which CD were you selling?
Both. I have two. My
Yeah.
first CD, Why Don't You Care, I released in 2012, and then my latest CD, Strong Enough for Love, which I released at the end of the year last year. And we just sold tons of both. People just love my music, so it's great.
And it was just you and your guitar today?
It's just me and my guitar. Yeah.
And you do that elsewhere too, right?
I usually play just me and my guitar. Lately, I've been playing with another guitarist, Nono Solarte, who's just been a great addition to my music. I find sometimes when I play with other people or too many other people, it's too much. It kind of takes away from the simplicity of my music. So I like to keep it simple when I perform. So.
I saw you the first time at the Central
Oh yes, that's right.
with other Songbirds. What was the idea behind that?
It's just there's so many great musicians in Toronto. It's nice to kind of get them together, share audiences as well, because their audience might like my music and my audience might like their music. So it's
Oh, that's great. And is there any other musicians you like playing with? You mentioned one gentleman, I believe.
Yes, mostly I play with Nono Solarte. I also have my good friend Harpin Norm Lucien. He's kind of famous in Toronto for playing harmonica, which is about everybody. And he's fantastic. I'm very picky with who I let join me on stage, but his harmonica playing is just incredible. So,
Cool.
yeah.
And so where else do you like playing?
I don't play too much in Toronto. We've been doing a lot of touring outside around Ontario, a lot of small towns. They've been so good to me. When I do play in Toronto, I play at Humble Beginnings restaurant, and I also work there, and I book the live music there. And it's just this great little intimate spot that I've been booking other musicians as well on Friday and Saturday nights from 8 to 10, and it's been going wonderful. People come, they enjoy good food, a glass of wine, some good music, they listen. It's like a kitchen party. It's really fun. So.
That's great. And you work there as the booker. And is it vegan?
We have lots of vegan meals. It's not fully vegan, but we do have a good portion of vegan dishes as well. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. And that's downtown.
It's actually in the West End. It's in the Junction
Okay.
area. So right on Dundas Street West by Clendenin.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And well, tell us some more. You've got some future plans?
Well, this summer I've already been booking a whole bunch of shows, lots of touring across Ontario. I got at the end of this month I'm doing a fundraiser for CKOL, which is a Campbellford radio station, and I plan on visiting a lot of these community radio stations who have been so good to me. They've been so helpful in promoting my music at their station and just going back to do shows there as well. And eventually recording again. I'm writing more music, preparing material for the next album coming up.
For the next one.
Exactly. Always the next one.
Yeah. And so the two albums are available on your website?
They are. You can purchase an actual physical CD from my website, or both CDs, and I will autograph them and I can mail them out. I've been mailing them out all over the world. People have been great to purchase them. So, yeah.
Do you want to talk about your influences?
Absolutely, and it's funny that I seem to be attracted mostly to Canadian songwriters. Even before I know they're Canadian, I'm not being biased.
Is our stick too much? This is good. The Canadiana here.
We're going all out Canadian, you know. The Americans do it, we're going to do it as well. This is unapologetically Canadian.
Why don't you tell us then about Toronto, your influences on Canadian music?
Well, one of my big influences, because of growing up and because of my father and my mother, the music they played when I was a kid, is Gordon Lightfoot, of course, who's a Canadian idol to many people. And I've actually recorded one of his songs on my latest album, Strong Enough for Love. I did Pussy Willow's Cattails. So,
great.
as a little tribute to one of my favorite songwriters. And lately I've been playing with Rick Haynes, who has been Gordon Lightfoot's bass player since 1969, I believe. It's been a long time, and he's such an amazing man. And He may be joining me at Canada Blooms this week as well, and he did my show at Winterfolk with me too, and that was a lot of fun. And it was really cool to shoot the breeze with him and hear the stories from the road that he had.
Wow.
So yeah, and Joni Mitchell, of course, is another big favorite of mine. I really look up to her and her art as well. So yeah, love the Canadian songwriters.
Where did you play in
Winterfolk,
Yeah.
at the Black Swan Tavern.
Oh, great.
Of course,
What a
the
great
main
place.
floor. Yes, it was. Yeah, it's been around a while, and it was an amazing show. So yeah, it was fun to be part of that.
And we're still talking to Nicole Coward, and we've obviously got some history to talk about. So why don't you tell us about yours? How did you start in music?
My history starts a little bit after these photos, but just a little. No.
Yeah, a little bit. You're 24?
Yeah, well, my influences come a lot from the 60s and 70s,
Oh, okay.
music of the era. But I started out actually with classical music. I studied piano, that's how I learned how to read and play music. And then I eventually ended up playing the French horn and studying it professionally. I went to the Royal Conservatory of Music, I learned there, and I also went to the University of Toronto. And I played in symphony orchestras for many years.
Oh, great.
And it was fun, and the French horn is a beautiful instrument, and
Sure.
I still play it.
Hard
I
to
played
master.
it. What's that?
Hard to master.
It's
Sorry.
very hard.
Yeah.
It is a very hard instrument to play, but it's beautiful if you can play it. I played it on both my albums, which is really cool. I dusted it off after probably close to 15 years of not playing it.
Wow.
But I took up the guitar about 5-6 years ago, and I love it so much. That's all I play now. So.
Any symphony stories?
I have a concert band story actually.
Okay.
I think it was in school. I wanted to study composition. Now I'm a songwriter as well, but
Sure.
I wanted to study composition, and I actually wrote a piece for a full concert band. So it was about 30 different instruments, and that was so huge. And my parents didn't know about it, and they came to the school show, and they're like, "What is that?"
Wow.
They were pretty surprised. So yeah, I've lost everything. I lost the paper. I lost the files, unfortunately, but it happened.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
It was a lot of fun.
Great. Well, we'll come right back in another minute. You must have a funny story from the road or from humble beginnings that you'd like to share.
Oh,
Something anecdotal.
jeez. Well, I mean, things are great now. People wouldn't think this would have happened. When they come to my show, it's usually packed. It's usually fully booked weeks ahead because I tell them you need to reserve. But there was a time when I started playing at Humble Beginnings and I thought, why am I doing this? And I remember one time I had a show and two people came. Gloria and Michael, they're fantastic music supporters in the city. They're the only two people there. And I forgot the power cord for my amp, so actually I had everything there, but I couldn't plug into anything. I had to do it completely unplugged.
Oh, that's great.
And I lost my voice, and it was just this terrible day. But, you know, I kept going. And that's the moral of the story is everyone has these bad days. You got to keep going. And now the house is packed each time I play Humble Beginnings,
That's so
and
great.
people enjoy the music. So
The show must go on.
the show goes on, yes, exactly.
Show us your flowers. So pretty. Thanks for being on Musicians in Bars Getting Beer, Nicole Coward.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.